Moving on and forgetting the past, how to start a new life. Forgetting the past and moving on to a new life can be difficult, but it's possible. By setting goals and focusing on the present, it's possible to live an optimistic and joyful life, no matter what has happened in the past or how difficult your circumstances are now. You might feel like you're never going to be able to forget the past and move on. Here are some tips on how to start a new life after a breakup. Reread this blog post about moving on from a breakup. Remember that time heals all wounds, so hang in there and things will get better eventually. As long as you remember these words of wisdom, there is no reason why you can't make a fresh start in the aftermath of a breakup. There's no one right way to go about it. Sometimes people need a break before making any big decisions, while others prefer to jump right into planning their next step. Breakups always cause heartache when they happen, but don't worry, it doesn't mean that either of you was at fault for breaking up. Most relationships just aren't meant to last forever. No one said that starting a new life would be easy. In fact, it can be quite difficult, especially if you're coming off of a tough breakup or dealing with depression. Here are a few tips on how to do just that. Breakup. If you have just ended a relationship and need someone to talk to, visit this site for some guidance. Deal with depression. Remember that there are people who care about you and want to help, so take advantage of those opportunities. Breakup. Make time for yourself by going out with friends more often or taking up a hobby like painting. Deal with depression. Stay positive by writing affirmations such as "I am strong" on post-it notes throughout your room. Deal with depression. Be patient with yourself and know that everything will get better eventually. Deal with depression. Create a vision board full of things that make you happy, such as pictures of places you've been or quotes from people who support you. Deal with depression. Know that feeling sad is normal and there's nothing wrong with you because of it. Deal with depression. Practice self-care by eating well, getting enough sleep, and talking to friends. Deal with depression. Keep in mind that moving on doesn't mean forgetting the past, rather, you'll build a future filled with happier memories. But if you want to start a new life, you must forgive yourself first. After you've dealt with depression, once you're ready to move on and deal with depression, it's time to be happy again. Sometimes finding someone new can help remind us of what we need in a partner. You can work through your breakup by talking about it openly and finding support from friends and family members who understand. You can also deal with depression by doing things that used to make you happy, like hanging out with friends, watching movies, playing video games, or going to concerts. I recommend reading more blogs like this one so you can also forget about your past. Forget the past and move on from any emotional baggage that comes along with it. There are tons of resources online to help you move on and deal with depression. If you want to move on and forget the past, use these tips to finally get closure. Luckily, there are many ways to deal with depression when breaking up. Give yourself time and allow your emotions to heal as you recover from the breakup. Making the decision to start a new life can be daunting. To do so, make sure you find healthy ways to deal with any depression caused by the breakup. People deal with depression in many different ways. Breakups are never easy, but it's important to remember that you're not alone. Here are some tips on how to deal with depression and move on with your life. Remembering what happened can help us make smarter decisions in our next relationship. Try new things. But it's important to try new things and live in the present. If you're dealing with depression, what advice would you give to someone who's trying to move on? How is living in the present helping you get over your past? How can we deal with our problems by forgetting the past? I'm going to try new things like going for a walk outside or watching a funny movie. After a breakup, it's common to want to forget the past and move on as quickly as possible. Here are some tips for how to start a new life after a breakup.